Hey guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Kenroy here. Now last year we did something pretty spectacular, and that is to grow some chochos, aka chayote. Now bearing in mind the chocho isn't native to the UK, but I managed to grow myself around 10 of these beauties, all organically here in cold UK. Now I'm hoping to do the same thing this year, but before then we need to get things going by getting our chochos started. Now today I've got one of my favorite vegetables that we grew last season in our garden, and that is the humble chayote, the chocho. Now I was hoping to try and save the one that we had planted in the garden over winter, but it seems as if it didn't make it. It got way too cold and we basically lost that one. So I always had a plan B, which is to try and grow another one from the actual fruit. Now fun fact, you don't actually need the entire fruit to actually sprout and grow the chayote, the chocho. You just need the heart or the seed, which is in the bottom. Now I'm not going to cut this out because I don't want to risk damaging these roots, which are already, you can see them fighting to come forward through the bottom here. I'll just let the camera focus a little bit. And I picked this up at the supermarket not far from where I live actually, and it was already growing, so it's definitely grown a lot more since we've bought it about a week ago. So I'm going to be planting this out so that it can start taking root sooner rather than later. Hopefully we can get a head start this year on the chocho. Last season we did start a bit later on, but we were still able to harvest a fair few. But sadly, as we went into late autumn where it got really cold and frosty, we may have left it too late and we lost the plant. Now to plant these, it's so simple. Now the chocho needs a lot of space in order to trail, as it's a vine vegetable. It likes to hang off a tree or on a climbing arch, and this thing can spread for meters upon meters. And so we're going to be planting this today. And later on in the season we'll be planting it out into the garden. So I'll be keeping this in the greenhouse, which hopefully, according to the weather, shouldn't be going below freezing. So this should be hardy enough. So we'll leave it here in the greenhouse. Now it's relatively easy to plant. As you can see, the roots are coming through the bottom. There seem to be 2 stems actually coming out, which is really nice. So what I'm going to do now, I've got a container here with compost. I haven't filled it to the brim. We're just going to be placing this on the inside, just like so. And then all I'm then going to do is just to sprinkle some soil around so that it can make contact with the roots, and then hopefully the roots will start going down. You can also sort of put it this way up. It doesn't really matter too much as long as it's easy for these roots to make contact with the soil, and then the actual plant will start growing up, start trailing, because it is a vine like I mentioned, and that will be that. Now you don't need to bury this, as like I mentioned before, what you really need to do is just make sure that you cover the root area as best as you can, and then the plant will basically do the rest. So all I'm going to do is just to spread that around, leave it partially unearthed, and then it will do its thing. So I'm just going to give this a bit of water in, and then job done. Okay, so I've given that a little drink, and all I'm going to do now is leave this in the greenhouse for the foreseeable future. Okay, so here we go. Just gonna leave this guy in here. It's been pretty warm recently compared to how it's been these past few weeks, and so I'm hopeful that this will be fine. I've also got a second chayote in the house which hasn't started sprouting yet, but as soon as that one starts to sprout, I will be doing the same. So this is the first of 2, and I'm hoping that the other one will start sprouting, and then we'll be able to get these things growing, because last year we harvested around 8 to 10, which was pretty spectacular. Not bad for our first try, especially because this typically like more warmer climates. So we were so impressed with the fact that these actually grew and we actually had fruit off of it. So I'll show you guys what's happening in about a week's time.